Hi everyone, it's Maya. As kind of a follow-up to last week's video, I thought it would be interesting to look through my collection and see which dolls have little defects or issues. I'm not including things like loose limbs or just a couple stains, because a lot of my dolls have loose limbs because they're kind of old, and a lot of them have stains because I'm too lazy to bleach them out. These are like slightly more serious defects, but obviously small enough that I haven't really done anything about them. We'll start off with Evelyn. There's honestly not very much wrong with her. She just has kind of wonky eyes. It just is kind of weird that so many Jess dolls have this problem, and it doesn't seem like they've really done anything about it ever. Her eyes are relatively good. This eye is a little bit smaller and it looks down. I'm just kind of used to it, so I don't notice it all the time. Next we had Kendall. The original McKenna doll that I bought back when she came out had really wonky eyes, so I ended up sending her to the doll hospital and they replaced her head for free. But the doll that I got back, even though her face is pretty much perfect, she has definitely an inferior wig. This problem definitely isn't as bad as it used to be because I've sewed a lot more colored hair into the top of her wig, but I haven't done as much at the bottom. So you can see that if I try to like part her hair to do ponytails, she has no short hairs at all. And I know a lot of other McKenna dolls have this issue, and I really don't know what happened and why this went wrong, but I don't really put her hair up very often, so it hasn't really bugged me. I know I said at the beginning that I wouldn't include just floppy limbs or anything, but Olivia, my Lainey doll, has extremely floppy limbs, probably the floppiest limbs I have ever seen on an American Girl doll. And I did buy her used, so maybe there's a story there, but besides the limbs, she's in basically perfect condition, so I'm inclined to believe that she came with pretty floppy limbs in the first place. It's kind of hard to tell how bad the problem is if you can't like actually feel it yourself, but this limb is just like insane. Like, she can barely stand. There's no way she could stand by herself. Next we have Anya, my Jess doll, and I honestly don't really blame American Girl for this one because Jess is 12 years old after all, but her hair is really something else. It's very, very wild, and even though it looks pretty nice from afar, her hair is so dry, and it actually has split ends. And I don't mean just a few. Like, if I look through her hair and I were gonna go like pick out all of her hairs with split ends, she probably wouldn't have any hair left. It's that bad. Like I said, you know, she has 12 years of use, but it's just kind of insane, and I really don't understand how it is possible. This is Maura, my Marie Grace doll. Her hair is also incredibly dry, but it's obviously not from use because she was completely unopened. And with Anya's hair, like conditioning it and doing some treatments and stuff, I have actually managed to improve Anya's hair, but with Maura's hair, no matter what I do to it, it's just like horrible. And it's also really hard to comb. It's always getting tangled. I've cut her hair quite a bit because, as you probably know, Marie Grace has really long hair, and it just wasn't manageable at the length that it was at. It's more manageable now, but I really don't understand like how her hair can be so tangled and so dry. It doesn't make any sense. Next we have Kieran, or Kanani, and I got her used off of Craigslist and then sent her to get a new head from American Girl. She came with a very strange defect, but thankfully I was able to fix it pretty easily. And it's kind of hard to explain, but basically right here in her hair, they did a very bad job making her wig, and she basically had like a giant chunk of wig weft like sticking out, bulging out right here, and it just looked really weird, and I really didn't know what to do about it, but I just cut it. I was kind of worried it might like damage the wig, but it looks pretty much fine. You can't even tell that I did anything, so I am pretty thankful for that. Although, like, still, she shouldn't have come with that in the first place. She also does have slightly wonky eyes. I think her eyes are a little bit worse than Evelyn's, but you can't really tell unless you're staring at her like this, and it honestly doesn't really show up in photos ever, so I don't really mind that. I have seen Kanani's that are 10 times worse in terms of wonky eyes, so in my opinion, I got pretty lucky. Next we have Louisa, my Marisol doll, and honestly, her issues have upset me the most, to the point where I have thought about selling her or otherwise customizing her. I'm just not really sure what I'm gonna do yet. But I got her used, but I could tell that she had had her head replaced very recently. So these defects that she has are a new problem, not an old problem. Her hair's a little messy right now, but as you can tell, it does have some pretty nice, bouncy, loose curls, but she did not really come with those. I had a lot of issues with her hair when I first got her. I ended up just straightening her hair and recurling it because the curls would not really hold well. They looked really awkward. It was just curled very, very poorly, and I don't even really know how that's possible. But, you know, the most disappointing thing is that her wig is like this. Like, look at that. I haven't taken off her wig or anything. I really have no idea why it's like this, and this is basically two problems in one. The first problem is they didn't glue enough hairs on the outside of the wig cap to cover the elastic, and then on the inside it's just like they just didn't really put enough hair in. They didn't put enough short hairs. I'm not going to pretend that I'm some kind of expert on doll wigs, but I can tell you for sure that my older dolls have wig caps that are 10 times nicer than this. Is it the end of the world? No, but considering how expensive these dolls are, I feel like that's kind of unreasonable. That's basically it for defects. I hope you guys have better luck than I do. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Want to see more from AGTriviaMaster? Click your screen to subscribe or check out another video. Thanks for watching. Bye!